everyone, I'm Nikki Haverstock. I'm a cozy mystery author, self-published, and I have, I think 15 books up on Amazon plus 2 short stories. I think that's right. If I apologize if I'm off by one. So this is going to be my wrap-up for both May and June, and talking about July goals. I'm just going to kind of hang out for a few minutes and catch up. I had intended to do one at the end of May, but that's when a lot of the Black Lives Matter really took a forefront, and there was a lot of videos being done and content, and there was, discussion about like maybe if you don't have something to add to the conversation, you shouldn't post. So I didn't post that week. I didn't really feel like I had, I feel there are so many people who have dedicated their lives to being educated, intelligent, smart people who have a lot to say, that maybe I should just, be quiet and listen and learn. And I've learned a lot and all that. So I didn't do that wrap up, so I'm kind of doing it for both months. And I'm going to kind of talk about, for me, June was a very good month. It was not a blockbuster month. I wrote 2 short stories, did my very light self-edit that I do, where I kind of go back and tidy up things that, threads that I dropped or this or that, and I try to make it say what I wanted to say, and then I send it to my editor. And so I did that. It was only about 20,000 words, but for me, that's a win. For me, in my world, if I wrote 20,000 words and self-edited, that is a huge win. Now, I kind of look at having 10 months of productivity, so that would be 3 books over the course of a year, which is perfect for me. That is reasonable, that is maintainable, that is a goal. So if you go back and you look at my videos, you can see that I was working through stuff. At the end of May, I had several videos. I had Lies That Perfectionism Is Telling You, How to Write Faster for a Slow Author, and Why I'm Against Harsh Advice. And I feel like if you kind of look at that from the outside point of view, you can go, oh man, she's working through some stuff, because those all come from what I'm dealing with personally. And the combination of the stuff that I was working on and thinking about and learning about and sharing is what happened in June. Now, June was not the first month that I've tried to take those ideas and put them into action. None of those concepts were super new to me, but I think I prioritized them a certain way differently in June, and I'll talk about exactly what I was thinking in June that got me there, plus the timing was right. Okay, so I am actually not crazy about the saying that doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results is insanity. Sometimes it is. Maybe you're trying to stick the wrong key in the lock, and sometimes the timing just isn't right, and it's a good plan, and you should just commit to it and be patient and really come to the page each day believing that today's the day that it's going to work. I can't tell you when you need to change and when you need to continue, but I think it's having both ideas in your head. So for me, June, and I have a little notebook, a little post-it right here. I mention it. I use all 4 concepts from the Lies That Perfectionism Is Telling You. So really believing that I can fix it afterwards, that I do have the ability to do it, that part of this is becoming a stronger author and I have to accept my current limitations. All of the stuff I talked about in the Lies Perfectionism Is Telling You video, and basically all of the ideas of how to write faster as a thinking author, as a thinking, my word for kind of a slower writer, but it's just someone who does their best work when they involve thinking. So what that says right there is write as far as you can see, then think. And that was my mantra. If I know 1 paragraph, write that 1 paragraph. If I know 1 sentence, write that 1 sentence. That was something Becca Syme, who has a channel here on YouTube, who also has classes. It's one of the few classes I will really enthusiastically endorse for anyone who is at all analytical, who is all interested in that. If you are super happy with your method, I don't recommend her class. I do have a good friend who didn't really get anything from the class, but she's like, I'm not really someone who cares about what my process is. I just do it. I'm fine. I'm already writing fast enough. Okay, then don't take the class. But if you are someone who is always looking for that next cheat, I recommend her Write Better Faster class. I will try to remember to put links down below. It's one of the few classes I will recommend. Maybe I'll do a video at some point on other classes I recommend. So anyway, so that was kind of my mantra. I had a coaching appointment with her at the end of May, And it was kind of like everything came together, and I was like, I just need to grind. I just need to write. These are short stories. I can hold them all in my head. I just need to keep pushing. And so I did a lot of writing, but I would write my word count per sprint, so about 30 minutes is a sprint for me, was low. You know, I would do like 80, 100, 300, 300, 300, 300, call it a day. Okay, none of those are impressive word counts. None of those are, wow, you're such a fast writer, because it would be a lot of like type, 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 type. Type, 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 type. Do you know what I mean? So a lot of thinking, a lot of like, okay, what would you give, what would be a gift that you could give someone that on the surface is a thing, but to that person would offend them? That was an exact example of something I had to do where the person had to be offended, and that I picked a cupcake because she was self-conscious about, she felt that he was saying that she was fat. Not the best example. Maybe in the context of the story it'll be better. Maybe my editor will come back and say, instead of a cupcake, do, I don't know, a pork chop. I don't know. I'm just saying that's how I write. I do a lot of this. And so that was my mantra, just write as far as you can see. You don't know where you're going, fine, just get through the scene. And a lot of times just getting to the part that I didn't know was 500 words. And then now that that was out of my brain, I had more brain space to then think of the next section. And I just wrote like that all through June. And that is successful to me. It is a painful process in the terms of like, I would prefer if I knew it all and all I had to do was take it from my brain and put it through my fingers. That I can do. But it was a difficult process. So that was my June. If you want to see kind of what I did, I mentioned those videos. I'll also try to remember to put them down below so that you can just link right over to them. So anyway, that was my May and June. I did a lot of listening. I got off of most social media. It was a combination of, one, I get really super addicted to it. I'm just someone who just gets totally engrossed and wants to read every thread, wants to comment on everything. We'll spend 30 minutes trying to craft the perfect response to someone I haven't spoken to in 20 years. Drives me crazy. I want to correct everyone. I am that person that goes, someone is wrong on the internet, I have to explain it to them. They don't care about my opinion. Doesn't really matter to me. Drives me crazy. So I've been trying to get off the internet. You know, I'm trying to read. I'll do a video at some point about some books that I've read that I'm really enjoying. I'm learning a lot from Black, specifically memoirs. Those are my memoirs by funny writers are my jam. I've read almost all of them, and I made a real point of searching out some from authors I haven't read. Phoebe Robinson and Baratunde Thurston. Is that right? Thurston Baratunde? Oh, now I can't remember if I said his name right. Anyway, How to Be Black. Very good book. I'm enjoying his voice. Anyway, so that was kind of my May and June. I also got Botox. Let's see, what else? I'm spilling all sorts of stuff here I wasn't intending to spill. So for July, I just want to continue. I finished the 2 short stories that were anthologies that are due, and I'm trying to get into my next book. My last 2 releases have not gone great. So one of them is a first in a new series. People love the book who read it, but just very few people have read it. So that's Space Murder. I think this is a great book. I totally believe in this character, but it completely knocked me on my butt that I just can't sell it. And so that's really frustrating. And then I did Death in the Desert, which is part of a very popular long-term series that I've had, but it just never sold a lot. And so the people who read it love it. I got great reviews. They're so happy. They love these characters, but I just haven't sold a lot of them. And so I really need to work on my series that sells, but that I will be 1,000% honest and tell you that it is really difficult. I am in this weird middle spot where I do make a profit every single month, but it's only like 3 digits. It's not huge, and half of the people, and I think I'm kind of right in the middle. I think making a profit at all is sort of puts you almost in the middle of the crowd, or depending on who you talk to, ahead of 95% of people. But I have people over here, I'm surrounded by people who are paying all their bills from writing. They make a huge profit. They run an ad, they make 10,000, their new release is making 10,000 according to them. So let's always hold that. We don't really know. We don't know if someone made 12,000 spending 7, or if they made 12,000 spending 10, or if they made 12,000 spending 12 and they're just hoping the rest of it. I don't know. And then I have a whole group of people over here who've never made money, never make profit. They are spending 1,000 to make 800. There's a lot of people like that. And the thing is, people over here don't understand people over here. People over here don't necessarily know that these people exist. And I'm sort of in this middle ground where I have good months. I have much better months than that. They're just not every month. But I do make a profit on on a bad month. I make a profit. And so people over here will be like, you're so lucky, you're so advanced, I don't know why you're complaining. And then people over here are like, you're doing great, just trust the process. Or they say, you're an idiot, just take $10,000 worth of classes and then you too can make a tiny bit more that you'll never pay off that investment. So I find it really difficult. And last night I was quite literally in tears. I'm like, why can't I, the people who read my books like them, I get good reviews in general. I get bad reviews too. You can go and look at my books and you can see them. Why can't I step it up to the next level? Is it my ads? But I don't really believe in a lot of the guru stuff. I don't want to, some of them will flat out say, take out credit card debt. No, I'm not going to take out credit card debt. I can't, I don't have that kind of money to, or the anxiety level that you can take out huge amounts of debt and hope that it comes back. That is just not me. And so it's a weird place to be. And I guess if you got this far in the video, enjoy my mental breakdown. But I just keep grinding away because I really do believe in my heart of hearts that it's a slow build, and that slow build does lead to a more stable audience. I am really lucky that my bad months are I'm still making a profit easily. That my checking account just kind of goes up. I make it, when I say it goes up, 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 you're like, wow, that's amazing. But it's not going up by that much. I'm covering my costs, things like that. So I'm just trying to grind my way through July. So my goal is 20,000 words, which will put me halfway through this book. Hopefully then I can get to the end of the book by the end of August, and then I can work on the next one, and the next one, and the next one. So anyway, hit me up with your July goals if you get this far in the video, and tell me, I don't know if you have any specific questions, things you want to talk about. I'm especially interested, I think, in productivity hacks, anything about like the attitude that you take to writing, but I can answer specific questions about writing. I don't think of myself as a great writer in terms of, like, if I was to take a writing class in college, I doubt my professor would be like, wow, your mastery of the language is amazing. But I think I'm decent enough. And I do it for a living. So I feel like I have something to say. So hit me up. Bye.